Wednesday, the 27th. This is hilarious. Earth just received a laser beam cat video from 19 million miles away. A lot of the flat earthers were already sharing that about a week ago. That's hilarious, though. I think that's if Globetrotters can't see that they're being made fun of, then you know what I mean. Then they really do deserve to be ridiculed. That's hilarious. That's really funny. Here we have NASA launches missions to intercept God of Chaos asteroid surging towards Earth. Okay, so explain your sky worshipping crap, Globetards. Like honestly, and this is actually why we're looking this up. There's a story I want to look up real quick. So impossible puzzle solved. Yeah, who cares about puzzle? Scientists have a 20-minute conversation with a humpback whale named Twain. Okay, so if you don't know where the name Twain comes from, that comes from Mark Twain. He was a really funny, sarcastic writer. He's one of my favorite. Like he has a lot of funny quotes. If you guys want to look him up, Mark Twain. It's funny that they said that they're talking to a humpback whale, and then they said that his name is Mark Twain. Like Globestars are being made fun of hardcore. Like they are like the ridicule of fucking of the internet. Like Globecharts are the dumbest fucking. They're the ones that get laughed at. They get laughed at They get laughed at more than far left Democrat shit, and they get laughed at more than all of that other stuff. Speaking of far left Democrat shit, and we have gruesome Newsom. You guys, we have to be careful. Like we don't want this idiot to become president. Not now, not later, not ever. Straight up. Listen to this shit. One step closer to living on Mars. AI unlocks secrets of oxygen production on the red planet. How the fuck would AI know? AI learns about shit that we know already. The only purpose of AI was to make everything quicker, not so it can try to teach us things. AI is just supposed to be for effectiveness and efficiency. It has nothing to do with it telling us predictions and us listening to it, and it's like some kind of fucking god. It's not. This is ridiculous. That AI shit's stupid. Okay, everyone, like, stop fucking making it seem like AI is so great or so special. Man, it's a program that's actually programmed by the things we already know. It's just to make things faster. That's it. It's not to fucking make us. It's not to replace us or replace brains and shit. That's dumb. Like Globetrotters, you want to put your brain away and just let all this fucking mainstream media fucking think for you. Like, honestly, you guys are fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. Watch Sandy fight gravity. Oh, shit. Whoa, fuck. That's hilarious. Voyager 1 is sending nonsensical ones and zeros back to Earth. We were just talking about that on Do You Even Science Bro group, making fun of how Voyager is on that movie the Star Trek, the movie from the 1980s, I think, with William Shatner. Supposedly, V'ger is Voyager 1. V'ger, the robot that's coming, I mean, the alien is not even an alien. It's Voyager. So according to that movie, Voyager loses contact with Earth, with the globus Earth. And while it's out there, millions of miles away from Earth, it becomes somehow self-aware. And then it decides that it wants to meet its maker because it's mad. It gets mad like, why would you invent me, create me, and send me floating out here in the middle of fucking nothingness, nowhere? Okay, I'm mad. I'm on my way back. But on the way back, the part of the Voyager sticker on the outside, or the painting or whatever it was, it gets hit by some type of like space debris or some shit, and it gets scraped off. So it just shows V'ger. So this machine assumes itself as V'ger. But it's hilarious that this one, like, they won't let go of this, and I've already explained it. Electrical theory, the ground and the electrical short, and all electronic products have a lifespan. That's how products work, especially if they're electrical. Anything electrical, especially biological entities. Anything electrical will short out sooner or later. Your electricity will stop working sooner or later. especially if you've been vaccinated. Your heart might just stop working with its electrical system. But anyways, here's the story that I wanted to look at. I kind of like glanced at it, but I didn't really read it. But the reason why I'm bringing it up because I made a post about this last week. So just to switch it up, and to follow through on that on the Magi, I explained that the Magi were Zoroastrianisms. I mean Zoroastrianists, and Zoroastrianists are actually where astrology came from, according to what mainstream science and mainstream historical documents have recorded. So this was released on December 24th, 2023. I believe I made that my post on December 23rd, like the day before. So I'll just go ahead and read it. And this is from Adam Gopnik, cultural comment. This is on the New Yorker. The real gift of the Magi. Oh no. Get off my screen. Okay. Nice little depiction there. The welcome winter festival has been upon us, starting with the solstice of the sun and carrying on until those late arriving gift givers, the Magi, finally show up, as they will, in all their many shapes and stylings and apparitions. The Magi, we know, best first appear in the Gospel of Matthew. Those three wise men, long thought to be Persian astrologers, following a star from the east to find a crown, the new king. One need not be a believer to find it a stirring tale of the entanglements of wisdom and revelation, and all the more pleasing for being a little enigmatic. What wise men? What star? What journey? There is something about them to appeal to every imagination, not least in their canny voyage home, by another way, to evade King Herod's plot. The specifics of the story have long been exploded, of course. Despite many attempts over the centuries to find some historical astronomical occurrence that might correlate with the biblical account, the physicist Aaron Adair has proposed that there was no event in the skies fit for the purpose. No comet, no meteor, or supernova to explain it. The star was imagined, made up in part, probably, because of Old Testament prophecies that demanded such a star if a Messiah was to be born at all. Interesting. A little further reading suggests that the Zoroastrian Persian, exactly what I said earlier, Zoroastrian Persian priestly caste, whom the author of Matthew would have probably known as Magi, were at the time vehemently uninterested in astrology, which they regarded as Roman guff. Indeed, other scholars insist that the Gospel's author did not mean for the Magi to be wise guys at all, or rather, only in the strictly Scorsesian sense, as cheaters and scammers whose fake Magi was humbled by the real revelation. Matthew's purpose in bringing them into the scene was to scoff at their obsolescence, not to boast of their endorsement. Interesting. Yet, the ideal of the Magi, the magical visitors, endures. Their vindication continues in the hands of the historian Anthony Grafton, whose new book, Magus, The Art of Magic from Faustus to Agrippa, explores the role of self-styled magicians in the Renaissance. These Magi, who claimed explicit descent from the Matthean ones, let me start that one over. These Magi, who claimed explicit descent from the Matthean ones, operated for several hundred years on the border between what long had been superstition and what would become science. Magi is the term for wise men. The German Renaissance polymath John Trithemius wrote, adding, I am not ashamed to be called a Philomagus. Never heard that one before. You need to look that up. I am not ashamed to be called a Philomagus, with them since I love divine, human, and natural learning. This is my magic which I follow. So just a pause right there. No, I'll keep going. I don't want to ruin it. Hold on. Grafton's Magi are an appealing gang, inasmuch as they turn out to have occupied the liminal space between what was faith and what would become fact. I'm trying not to laugh. The intellectual fabric that their investigations wove, as Grafton entertainingly relays, was an entanglement of absurd system and authentic discovery, of systematic fraud and startling originality, of obvious nonsense and pregnant novelty. We find the medieval Magi diligently advancing astronomy by mapping the skies and the planets with one desired goal, being to predict the planetary conjunctions of Jupiter and Saturn, the so-called Great Conjunction, which they believed marked all the significant turning points in human history. The 13th century English scholar Roger Bacon, Grafton writes, argued that only 6 great religions could exist, each of them presided over by the conjunction of a planet with Jupiter. Judaism, for example, was the religion of Saturn. If this seems ridiculous, note that the most recent great conjunction was in 2020. Surely as momentous a year as any of the sages could have anticipated. Omen from the sky. Oh well, I didn't think about that before. How funny, huh? Okay, keep going. The novelty of Grafton's view is that what makes the Magi matter are not their myths, but their machines. They made things, and it was on the basis of what they made that we got not theoretical science, but technology. It was the shrewd recognition that there was, as they called it, real artificial magic that made the Renaissance Magi our true predecessors. Automatons and astrolabes alike, it seems, were part of their apparatus. By fudging the barrier, not so much between science and magic, but between artisanal engineering and imaginative speculation, they helped create this world we live in now. I hope you guys are paying attention. You probably guys, yeah, I know some globeheads probably read this and they don't even understand what they're reading. In fact, most globeheads would never read this because they don't read. They love to make startling automatons, grasping that any machine that works by means we do not understand looks like magic, and also that all such mechanisms will look like the devil to uneducated eyes. Indeed, one can trace this history of diabolic seeming machinery from their time through the cascade of new devices leading to our own. A 15th century wooden devil doll with the movable eyes, tongues, horns, arms, and wings gave way to the 18th century chess-playing Turk, whose very simple machinery no one could understand. Modern Magi gave us, in the 19th century, the ominous device of the telegraph. And they said it. It's surely no accident that Samuel Morse's first telegraph message read, What hath God wrought? Radio and TV had their moments of seeming magic, and latest in this line of course, the specter of artificial intelligence. Right now, of all these magical machines, AI looks like the one that will at last rush us all to hell. Still, many machines have threatened us with that infernal descent in the past, and as yet, it has not quite occurred. We've seen lots of hells, just not the final one. Everything looks like magic until you know it's a machine, and every machine you don't yet know looks like a deal made with the devil. What all the mythology and history of the Magi suggest is that no bright lines exist to separate fakery from faith, or cunning machinery from magical apparatus. There aren't any sharp margins between the irrational and the rational, between what we guess at and what we are sure of, between the wisdom we revere and the fakery we mistrust. We never know exactly who is who or which is which, just as we will never know exactly what we are. The ambiguities of the Magi's apparition remain a lesson in whom to call wise and why to call them so. All knowledge is labily. That's another word I learned. We'll have to look that one up. Labile. Labile. All knowledge is labile. All identity liminal. Wide-eyed wonder becomes blind faith, just as sharp-eyed skepticism curdles into narrow-minded cynicism. How then are we to find our way home? It helps to imagine a star. Wow, that was really a good read. I think everyone should read this on their own, but as we can see that what they are saying, what this article is proposing is that technology is used to bedazzle humanity. Technology is used to manipulate humanity. Technology is used in a way to misuse trust. Once you get someone's trust, you can do so much with it. Once you get someone's faith, you can do so much with it. Do you guys understand that? This was a really good read. It goes to show you that how the worship of the sky has been and continues to be to this very day used to manipulate the human population. As we can see, astrology is known, as astrology and astronomy, because astronomy came from astrology, is known as a way to bedazzle humans and to lead humans to lead humans in any direction that you want once you get them to believe in your heavenly stories. As we can see, they made up stories about the sky, made up a story about a star that didn't exist according to this this article. And just going off the article, of course, once we're off of this article, we could go back to our other theories or whatnot and whatever beliefs you have. But as we are in this article, going off of this article and this theory, we would say it would be that there was never the star. They never followed any star. They just said, look, there's a star up there. And then everyone looked up and they're like, they must know what they're talking about because these guys are Zoroastrians. These guys are astrologers. They should know what they're talking about. So they probably just talk like, okay, yeah, sure, we see it. Yeah, and some people were like, sure, buddy. Yeah, pal, I see that star up there. Okay. Well, this article probably is gonna piss off a bunch of Christians that don't comprehend the the big picture. I know it's easy to get stuck with the faith that you have and be like, it's this way and this way only. But as weird as it may sound, and you guys could look this up with Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton said this. A lot of other people have said this. As weird as it may sound, the Bible is some type of overlapping artwork. It's the form of art, and there's all kinds of stuff that overlap it. And you will see that what one person says can be used for another reason and another purpose on something in another story. And it's literally a big puzzle if you want to look at it. That's what Isaac Newton himself, who, by the way, was born on Christmas Day. Of course, people are being like, he wasn't born on Christmas Day, blah, blah, blah. But I will prove you wrong if you want to debate me about that. He was born on Christmas Day. Yes, he was. So anyways, he believed, when he didn't just believe, he proved it, that the Bible has certain patterns in it. And it's undeniable. It's empirical fact. So according to him, in Hebrew, every 50th letter would spell out, it would be a letter within the word Torah. So the first letter starts with T, and then after 50 letters, on the 51st letter, I believe it was O. Then on the next 51st letter, it was R. Then on the next 51st letter, it was A. Then on the next 51st letter, it was H, which spelled Torah. And then after the next 50 letters, again, the pattern continued. And this is throughout Genesis. Somehow you're able to continue a story and say all these things in the story, But yet throughout the whole story of Genesis, it says Torah, 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 Torah on every 50th letter, which this became known as the Bible Code. So the Bible Code was actually discovered by Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton spent all day long, every day reading the Bible. If he wasn't reading the Bible, he was doing some alchemy, devil worshipping crap. Okay? He believed that numbers and letters and patterns would talk to him. That's exactly what he believed. He was a prophet. He was a prophet he was a messenger sent from God. And he made predictions. Supposedly, the globe is going to end on 2060. Jesus is going to come back and wake up zombies, and all kinds of weird shit supposed to happen on 2060, according to Isaac Newton. So, anyways, this was a mixture of, and again, science came from the Bible. Science came from all of this ancient stuff. Whatever you globeheads believe, like that you guys are like currently that you guys are somehow the cream of the crop or the peak of evolution. You're not. You're babbling the same shit that was being babbled back then. Okay, and they're using the TV to make you babble that shit. No, Apollo the god is not in the sky. No, Apollo the god did not go meet Luna. No, the Gaia the globus Earth, Mother Earth, you're not in her belly, on her belly. No. Okay? You guys are not fucking part of science. From this article alone, we can easily conclude that a lot of technology that we see right now is in fact only being used to manipulate. Again, you guys know I'm a field engineer, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. Telecommunications was invented purely to manipulate human communication. Do you guys comprehend that? Or do you guys even science, bro?